And that's the economics of the game, that they're traveling on the road a bunch. They're fearless. They've got a lot of talent. And they easily could have beaten Mississippi State. And they're a dangerous team, no question about it, despite the record.
They're 1 for their first 6 from the floor here. This is Jordan Tillman with the basketball. Fires it from the wing, short, and the rebound pulled down by Stone Carrawell, and he's fouled by Nick Anderson.
Well, one thing to keep an eye on, Trey, as well, Coach Smith told us that they're a better team when they're shooting fewer threes. We get a look here. Mid-range jumper, no good. Stone Carrawell, he is ubiquitous thus far this evening on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, that goes against what everybody talks about. There is no mid-range game in college basketball, you would think, when you hear from coaches, but they believe that's the shot that fits their personnel. Here's MJ Amy now on the floor into the corner for Porter. He thought about the three, going to drive it inside now. Skip pass, Amy. Porter from the corner. Not that time, and it's tracked down near the rim by John Paul Ricks. Bryant the other way turns it over. Now Prairie View has coughed it up 11 times this year, but they like the fast paces. Lamage Lewis is going to see his first action, the defensive specialist in for Stone Carrawell.
Yeah, you know, when you talk about Vide, Lewis, and of course the depth of the Lions, we're seeing that personified here. Asanza as well, Amy. So Porter, the only starter currently on the floor for LMU.
And an LMU turnover as McBride's going to check back into the game. And Asanza will take a seat. Prairie View 1 of 7 from the field. LMU 1 for 5. McBride, we talked about, a skilled, undersized four-man. He pairs up really well with Asanza. Gives him a different look there in the low post.
Yeah, he's such a winning player. McBride, oodles of energy. His peripatetic nature, he's all over the floor.
Braylon Bush, 5'9" graduate, at the controls at the point for Prairie View. Good ball movement as they get the ball in the hands of Petway, one of their top scorers at over 15 per game. This is Tillman. Shot clock is at 4. Anderson a long 3, and he airballs it. Good defense there from LMU.
Yeah, now that is a clip that Coach Johnson and the staff will share post-game to reiterate what a terrific defensive possession that was. That's the type of defense you want to have consistently. Well done.
Jan Vide, backup point, good mid-range game. Big guard on the floor, handling the point guard duties with Johnston out. Amy to the free throw line, and he's fouled. You know, MJ Amy, a guy that was 5th in the Mountain West in scoring a year ago at San Jose State, has not found his shot yet. He's a guy potentially that could be a nice scorer off the bench.
Yeah, absolutely, Trey. You get the feeling, just like Merck Velance exploded for 19 on those 5 threes in the win against Nevada, that with Amy, again, it's not a question of if, just a question of when he will assert himself offensively, just like Merck did the other night.
He had 8 points off the bench against Belmont, had 11 at St. Louis University. Here's McBride, size advantage here in the painted area, gets it to Porter. Back to McBride, good two-man game, and that goes down. He muscled that one into the bucket, 8-4.
Tremendous body control by McBride, absorbing the contact and finishing. Svelte and Sinewy. McBride.
Bryant missing as the struggles continue from the field. Amy the rebound. Vide. Spinning into the paint, and he's fouled. That's a reach-in foul. That'll be on Braylon Bush at the 13-12 mark as Johnston and Merck Velance get set to check back in for LMU.
But what's noticeable about a great job by our crew capturing McBride, beautiful dish from Porter, but it's noticeable how the coaching staff is saying don't settle for threes, and we're seeing LMU attack the paint consistently.
And there's a inbounds pass off the side of the backboard by Johnston. They get it back, though. Amy to the cup, not there. Elijah Terry with the rebound, as this is a deep team. Prairie View will throw 12 bodies out there at you. Equal opportunity employer. Terry's got it right now, guarded by McBride. They swing it around for Tillman. The southpaw makes his move, and the banker goes. Tillman, a graduate from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. He had 18 at Fresno State this year. Approaching the 12-minute mark. LMU up a bucket. Coming off a big win over Nevada last Saturday. Skip pass, Amy in the corner. Inside, McBride, back iron, gets his own rebound, and the finish. And that's what they love about his game. Sometimes not pretty, but effective.
Yeah, relentless. The ball touches multiple quadrants on the floor, and you get high percentage shots.
2 of 3 from the field, couple rebounds for McBride. Here's Bryant on the drive to the baseline. And we've got a foul called, and collision. A couple bodies hit the floor as Amy is down here at the 12:02 mark.
And Coach Smith told us, Trey, that Bryant, who wears number 24 there, we see him, he's really got the body of an NFL tight end at 6'7", 230. Bridget may be doing some scouting for multiple NFL squads in clandestine fashion. Of course, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
but he definitely has an NFL body.
Yeah, Bryant's brother plays football in Missouri. Inside, a shot won't go for Petway. Stone Carrawell, that was deflected as they tried to start a break. It will stay with LMU. Under 12 timeout. Lions in front of Prairie View 10-6. The action frantic in the early going. McBride doing the dirty work down low.
There are captivating moments.
Over the Panthers, LMU with 4 turnovers through the first 8 minutes. With 7 new players this season, the Lions are still figuring each other out. Stan Johnson has been extra animated during the timeout and on the sideline. He tells me they know who they want to be, but they're working on being consistent. He believes when they compete at a high level early in this game, take the first punch, then they can beat anyone in the country. He's been more intentional about amping up his team and shoot around in practice, learning he has to be the one to bring the juice, Trey.
Thanks, Bridget. Yeah, and sometimes the offense isn't there, but defensively the intensity has been there, and part of the reason they have the lead here, and that was something they stressed, the physicality of their game, and they have brought it on at least one end of the floor. Porter on the interior can't get that to fall, but he'll head to the free throw line. And the other facet with this team, somehow, some way, get Javon Porter the basketball inside or out and get him to work.
Yeah, so Porter does a great job here recognizing the size advantage that he has, and he's got the ability to get to his spots, and we'll get to the free throw line. And, you know, LMU has only averaged 11 free throws per game, Trey, and tonight this is they've been to the free throw line multiple times.
3 of 5 now from the stripe tonight. Porter is a 69% free throw shooter. He's 9 of 14 this season, but a guy that's an all West Coast Conference candidate at that power forward spot. Cancun Challenge MVP. He was the Conference Player of the Week. Big game potential, and he's had it in spurts this season. His breakthrough game, the effort against Wyoming with his 29 points. Here's a look at a 1-3-1 now from the Lions.
Yeah, Carrawell at the top. McBride at the bottom of the 1-3-1.
Petway for 3, misses. Offensive rebound. They go to the deck for it, and Johnson has it for LMU. Porter in transition. McBride with the finish. Filled the lane for 2.
Johnston to Porter to McBride for the dunk. And Johnston did a great job, Trey, of not having someone from the Panthers tap the ball from behind him, got rid of it in a hurry. Great recognition.
McBride leads all scorers with 6. There's a wild acrobatic shot by Bush off the mark. Here's Porter starting to break the other way. Feeds McBride again, and another finish. Carbon copy, timeout Prairie View. Byron Smith is not pleased, but that's what the Lions love to do, get out in transition, and the Bigs running well.
Deja vu all over again. LMU on the extension via Porter and McBride. The Lions faithful loves it. Kicking it out. And that's one of the Panthers' downfalls, minus 13 rebound margin. They stay in the 1-3-1 do the Lions.
They do. Stone Carrawell at the top of it. They have really held Prairie View in check. 1 for their last 7 from the field, shooting just 15% here in the first half. There's a trap in the corner. Bryant kicks it for Petway. Spinning in traffic, lost the handle. He's tied up. And the possession arrow is going to point LMU's way. Active defensively, and there's some quick guards out there. Mississippi State had a tough time corralling these guys.
Yeah, and notice, Trey, when the Lions get a trap, when the basketball is picked up, the dribble is picked up, they're trying to get into those passing lanes in denial mode to force turnovers. And you said it earlier, LMU looking very good defensively. You bring that intensity, Trey, that's something that's portable and is always going to keep you in games.
McBride attacking, and they have no answer for number 16. He now has 8 on 4 of 5 shooting, 2 away from his career high.
Yeah, McBride has been sizzling tonight.
On the block, Bryant. And an offensive foul is called. It's going the other way. And they have really shut down this Prairie View team. A little frustration now for the visitors from Texas.
Yeah, so Bryant with a strong move, but he did dip his shoulder. And Johnston, and we see McBride here with the strong finish.
He has 10 now, McBride, on 5 of 6 shooting. That does tie a career high.
Yeah, so he has been terrific. We get a good look at Porter. And again, for Coach Johnson, you got to be very pleased here, Trey, the way you've been able to extend the lead here and take control of this game.
They've hit their last 4 field goals as we near the 9-minute mark here in the first half. Porter's going to fire away from distance, short off the front iron, and Petway has the basketball for Prairie View. Picked 7th in the 12-team SWAC preseason poll. The Panthers. Anderson for 3, in and out of there. Porter the rebound. Look at him start the break. Very comfortable racing down the court with the basketball. Gets it back from Johnston. Porter. That was deflected. Here's a steal. Terry the other way to Ricks.
So far, LMU has kept Anderson the top scorer in the SWAC, number 23, scoreless thus far. He's 0 of 4.
Orlando Horton Jr., sophomore from Houston, point guard on the floor. Over to Anderson, the guy you talked about, in the paint. Scoop shot, and that banks home. It's a tough guy to keep in check, the SWAC's leading scorer amongst their non-conference competition. Porter with the left hand, not there. Rebound pulled down by Horton. What a pass ahead to Anderson, and he lays it in. And this is part of the reason this team averages 81. They love to get out and go, and a timeout called by the Lions.
Yeah, so we see Anderson asserting himself. He went for 32 at Northern Colorado. And again, good timeout by Coach Johnson because it's just a little bit too easy here in transition for the Panthers to get going. Now we know they're 20 in the top 25 in the country. Little three-quarter court pressure being applied against the Lions in their building.
Yeah, a couple point guards out there. Johnston and Vide attacking that pressure. McBride off to a great start here in the first half to Lamage Lewis. Doesn't look to shoot often. They reset things with Johnston at the controls against Petway. Shot clock at 10. Johnston fires up the triple. Bounces off. Lewis, the offensive rebound. He's known for his defense, but the senior, a fourth-year Lion, puts one in.
Yeah, opportunistic Lewis attacking the offensive glass. Excellent.
Horton Jr. out to Anderson, and he travels. Lewis checking him defensively. That shows the respect Stan Johnson has for Lewis, drawing that defensive assignment. 19-10 LMU, shooting 44%. Prairie View still struggling, 4 for 17 from the field.
Yeah, and you've got to feel, if you're Coach Smith, like, hey, we're really struggling offensively, but obviously it's very early. We're still in this game in a major way.
Good pass there by Lewis, but Vide can't handle it. They turn it over. Horton Jr. to the baseline, and the jumper goes. Hard to believe this team has only 12 points, averaging 80 per game, but credit that LMU defense. Mertveladze inside, not there. Tries to get his own board. Scramble in the corner for it, and the Panthers have it. They're a scrappy bunch. Not pretty sometimes, but very quick, especially getting to loose balls. Terry, dribble handoff. Petway, spin on Vide, and he's fouled. Petway, a former New Mexico State Aggie, a tough, cerebral guard, according to his head coach.
Yeah, comes in averaging 15 points per night. And obviously, We've seen this before, the quick spin move, great recognition, feeling and sensing where the defender is and how he can get to his spot. And certainly for the Panthers, Trey, getting to the free throw line here, advantageous to their cause to cut the deficit.
This is his first attempt, 77% free throw shooter on the season. Porter's going to come in. Lewis gave him some good minutes. He'll go to the bench. Headway, a guy that had 23 against Western Kentucky in a New Mexico State uniform. I mean, you look at their transfers, they've got some guys that have played at a high level.
Yeah, and of course, for Coach Smith, he's trying to instill his culture. It takes a little bit of time. Of course, a lot of bonding on the road.
And a long three from Mert Veladze, picking up where he left off against the Wolfpack.
Mert Veladze continues to feel it from three.
His first points, and away from the ball, a foul called on LMU.
And really, Trey, this stage of the season is so much about improvement. Every drill, every practice, every game. And as Bridget alluded to, Coach Johnson's comments pregame, it's a great opportunity. You've won 3 or 4. Can you continue to play consistently?
Horton to Anderson. How about that alley-oop finish as he got a quick breather with Sawyer on the floor, comes back in and flushes one down.
Yeah, so as soon as I said Anderson hasn't scored, he's gone for 6 quick buckets.
How about this mismatch here? Porter checked by Horton out between the circles. Here's McBride in the interior. McBride trying to stay with it, had it knocked away. Mert Veladze's going to drive, and an offensive foul. He had the open look from the outside, opted to drive it in there, and they turn it over.
Yeah, that was great recognition by Terry here. He set outside the restricted area. Excellent defense by Prairie View A&M in the person of Terry.
Both teams now in the bonus at the 6-minute mark, and Prairie View has eased their way back into this one, trailing by just 7. There's that dribble handoff. They love the weave, don't they?
Yeah, so they want the defense to move. Do not let them load up against you.
Anderson over, Johnston got it. And the concern with Anderson, you mentioned his big games. He had 24 at Mississippi State, and there's the answer for Mert Veladze.
A great response by Mert Veladze to Anderson's explosive offense, which we're seeing here. Now, how do you guard Anderson, Trey? How do you contain him? Mert Veladze has got the assignment currently.
John Paul Ricks, junior from Baton Rouge, working against Johnston. Here's Anderson. Johnston picks him up defensively. Shot clock is down to 6. Ricks on the drive, and foul's going to be called on Mert Veladze. They have so many guys that are quick on the dribble, on the perimeter.
Yeah, absolutely, and you're trying to contain the basketball here. We see LMU doing a lot of switching on the dribble handoffs on the perimeter. And again, Ricks knows what to do with it as far as taking it to the basket with alacrity, and he gets back to the free throw line.
A couple free throws as that one rims out. He is a Hutchinson Junior College product. Great program in Kansas as Mert Veladze will go to the bench, and Stone Carawell is on the floor now for LMU.
Now, Prairie View, Trey, has made 5 consecutive field goal attempts without a miss. Now they get to the free throw line. So they're starting to settle in here a little bit offensively. And, of course, Anderson's leading the way with 8 points on 4 of 8 from the floor.
5 minutes to go. McBride hands it off to Johnston. On the wing, Stone Carawell drives it to the free throw area. Pulls up from 15, not there. Offensive rebound, Porter can't follow. McBride has it on the interior. Amongst the trees, no, Porter! And they crash the glass, and they win on that offensive possession.
Yeah, so that's really excellent aggression and avarice on the offensive glass by the Lions. Their opponent is minus 13 rebound margin. They know they can attack and convert.
And a turnover, LMU running 2-on-1. Amy, Stone Carawell. And the transition game works. And they're back up double digits.
Good response by LMU.
Yeah, you mentioned the rebound. 18-8 now, the advantage for the home team. Anderson against Amy. Under 4 minutes to go, first half. Anderson pulls up. That was deflected. Amy got a piece of that one. Johnson changed gears there to get it to Porter. And he is tied up. Coming over Terry with the tie-up. And we'll take a break. LMU's defense has come to play. And really, Aaron McBride, though, has been the story here in the first half with 10 points and 4 rebounds.
Right. It just speaks to the depth of LMU, Trey, that they have many offensive weapons. We saw Mert Velazquez go for 19 in the win against Nevada, and now McBride being opportunistic. He's got 10 thus far.
Good backdoor look there, and the bucket for Petway off the feed from Elijah Terry. Stone Carrawell for 3. Porter crashing the glass, can't get to it. Matar Jope is on the floor now for LMU. Panthers running. Bush from the corner for 3.
Yeah, great penetration by Petway to set up that 3 by Bush. Well done by the Panthers.
If LMU can limit Prairie View to the half-court sets, they're much better defensively. They get out and run, they're tough to deal with when the game is a little helter-skelter.
Trey, the way to do that is shoot a high percentage, make the Panthers take the ball out of the basket.
Open look, Stone Carrawell. Not there. Offensive rebound, Jope, and he's fouled. Reaching in, picking up the personal, John Paul Ricks. Matar Jope, an athletic big, a motor guy, and they felt heading into the season the offensive glass could be his strength.
Yeah, and this is a prime opportunity for him tonight to get involved and to get engaged.
Nebraska transfer, top front court reserve for the Huskers, played in 19 games. Just his 3rd free throw attempt this season, and he misses on that one. Johnson comes back in. Vide's going to go to the bench.
So now, what closing group does Coach Johnson go with, Trey, to try to extend this lead? You're up 6. You'd love to go up double digits here. We'll see if we go with a little 3/4 court pressure here. Try to slow the Panthers down again here after the free throw, taking the ball out of the basket.
Jope gets 1 out of 2. McBride back on the floor, and he has been the spark plug here in the first half. Here is some pressure. Ricks picked up by Amy across the timeline. Ricks stops. Petway, nothing there on the baseline. Rick's jumper, and that rattles home. He leads them in assists and field goal percentage from that guard spot, and there's a travel on LMU. They cough it up.
Yeah, so that was a great play by Ricks. Tough shot, he made it in the mid-range. And then they force a turnover here as well. So Bush with a great job there pressuring the ball. So the Lions have to dig in here, try to get a stop, as Prairie View A&M is making a significant push here late in the first half.
Petway for 3, and they have cut it to a single bucket after the 9th LMU turnover. They cash in from distance. 2 minutes to go, first half.
It's a game of sustaining, creating, and surviving runs, and the Panthers are making one right now.
They've hit their last 4 field goals. McBride, shot clock at 10, hands it off to Amy. And a collision and a blocking foul is called there as he runs into Braylon Bush, who tried to get his body set in front, and free throws coming.
So we get a good look here, the handoff. And this may get Amy going offensively, Trey. Of course, he's had a number of in and out type scenarios where he's has not finished, which are anomalies for him.
Oh, and he misses the front end of the 1-and-1 right there. And Coach Smith has to be pleased with the way his Prairie View team has battled back from a double-digit deficit. Here's Horton Jr. High pass pulled down by Petway. Johnston on him. Oh, what a move right there. Scoop shot won't go for Petway, but he draws contact.
Yeah, now this is a very talented seasoned squad that has been on the road. And again, they're hungry for a victory, Trey, right?
How about the crossover right there?
Yeah, terrific. Absolutely gorgeous move.
It's a guy that had 20 at SMU, 20 at Mississippi State, 17 at Fresno State. He has a chance to tie this one up late stages first half.
And remember, LMU led by 9 with just 2 and change to go here.
Merck is back on as Amy takes a seat, and we are all even with 1:20 to go first half. No field goals the last 3 minutes for the Lions. Stone Carrawell to McBride. Looking for Porter, he's got it. Back to McBride, can't corral that one, and a ball that's out of bounds that will stay with LMU. They tried that same big man to big man play. It didn't work out that time.
It worked earlier, Trey, absolutely, but the Panthers here are feeling it. Defense in front of the respective benches, and they are oozing confidence right now. We get a good look at Coach Byron Smith orchestrating.
Johnston to trigger. Out high, Stone Carrawell almost picked off by Ricks. Shot clock at 5. Johnston with 2. Johnston on the drive. Scoop shot, reverse goes. Great play from the senior from Australia.
Absolutely gorgeous move. Can the Lions get a stop here and convert?
His first points of the half. Here's Petway for 3. No. Crashing the glass, Terry, but Porter has it, and LMU can hold for essentially 1 here to close out the first half. Very entertaining game here from Hank's house.
It's going to be really key that LMU gets a good shot here, Trey, but matches the physicality and intensity that the Panthers have brought, particularly over the final 3 and change, in which LMU led by 9.
Johnston with 4 on the shot clock. The 3 won't go. Rebound, Petway. Going to try to get this shot off with the left hand, and it counts. He goes coast to coast and lays it in, and we've reached halftime all even at 32. What a finish for Prairie View.
Yeah, just an excellent.
Continuing the momentum they gained after a victory over a really good Nevada team here on this floor at Hank's house last Saturday. A Nevada team that right now will go down as a quad 2 victory, and when you look at the metrics, a team that could win the Mountain West Conference, but they want to continue the momentum here, and they're getting a challenge from Prairie View out of the SWAC. Lions have the basketball first. Stone Carrawell 1 for 6 from the field in that first half. McBride, big first half, hands it off to Johnston. Johnston could feed inside, in the finish from McBride, and he has a season high with 12, and he gives LMU the early lead here in the second half.
Yeah, the roll man is the rotation man's responsibility. According to UB Brown, there was no help, and McBride knows what to do with it.
Terry feeding Petway. Good ball movement. You get it out high to Anderson. Shot clock is at 10. Bolton not looking to shoot. There's Anderson for 3. Misses the mark. Merk-Velatze the rebound. And again in the half-court set, struggling to get something going. Porter left alone. Can't bury the triple. And a foul's going to be called on McBride on the floor, trying to get the offensive rebound. Let's get some thoughts on Byron Smith from Bridget.
Yeah, I talked with him as he came out of the locker room at halftime. He really loved how hard his team played, called LMU a very good team, but proud of the way they hung in there. He said, we need to do a better job on the glass, getting out rebounded. They were coming into the second half 21-11. He said, we have to do a better job, but he really likes the way they're defending and sharing the ball on offense, Trey.
And defense has not been their staple this season. Porter from the corner can't hit the 3, and the rebound pulled down by Petway.
That was one of the Raising Cane's keys for Prairie View A&M, the glass.
Boy, they really run that weave well out high, and there's Ricks on the interior with the bucket. Junior, quick off the ball, their leader in assists at just 6'1". Tough to stay with, we're even. And foul called here
think that
and
may
it's
go
going on Porter.
Yeah, I believe so, Trey. A little push off.
Collides with Anderson and picks up the personal. That's the second on Javon Porter. Marcel Bryant has 3 fouls, the big man for the Panthers. Anderson on the cut. Boy, what a move right there. And I think Coach was right. I mean, this is the SWAC's leading scorer. He could play for a lot of schools in America.
And that possession for defensively for the Lions, Trey, exemplified the lack of ball containment, slow rotation.
Good job, Stone Carawell filling the lane. Porter finds him for the bucket.
Now an excellent response by the Lions.
And foul as well.
Porter has done a great job, Trey, and you mentioned this off camera during halftime, distributing the basketball. That was his 6th assist on the evening. So Porter very magnanimous, and Stone Carawell, the beneficiary of the benefactor, Porter.
And he completes the 3-point play. That was the 3rd foul on Bolton. And again, that's playing inside out. If Porter's getting those assists, that's the way you'd like to play it offensively. Anderson had it deflected. It's off of Anderson, out of bounds. The Lions make him turn it over.
And Trey, you're so right. Offensively for LMU, are you touching the paint? Are you getting ball reversals? Do not settle for a 3. You will get a open 3 or a good flush or mid-range shot if you attack.
Johnston is cut off, steps through the trap. Corner jumper, and there goes for Stone Carawell. He struggled with his shot, but he gets a conventional 3-pointer and then one outside the arc. And he now has 11.
And a great screen by McBride, freeing Stone Carawell. Great dish by Johnston as well, cross court.
Petway baseline drive. Out high Anderson, cuts into the paint, scoop shot, he does it again. He's done that a couple times here in the second half, and that is an athletic performer on the wing.
He knows he's got Porter the big on him, Trey, and he drives by him. Excellent decision by Anderson.
McBride at the free throw line. He's going to drive it. Contact, offensive foul. Holding his ground down there was Elijah Terry, the 6'7" junior from Enterprise, Alabama. It goes the other way.
So McBride is working off a career-high 12 points tonight. And a very intelligent play by Terry to take the charge.
First on McBride, second team foul. It was an 11-point lead in the first half for LMU. Prairie View a strong closing run before halftime, and we've got a dogfight here at Gersten Pavilion. Jordan Tillman, the left-hander. Johnston got a hand on it. Tillman gets it back, and he puts it home. Well, that's a physical guard there at 6'3", 185. He stayed with it.
Yeah, great second effort by Tillman.
Porter out high. Good pass to Stone Carawell. Feeds off of the hand of McBride, and a Lions turnover.
Yeah, that was an excellent idea by Stone Carawell, just unable to deliver the pass.
We are tied at 40. Largest lead for Prairie View, 36-34. LMU is led by 11. Bryant against Porter, makes his move inside and got it to go off the window. They're finding some buckets now in that interior.
They are, and they're scoring off of turnovers, Trey, right? The offensive foul early.
And now Porter is fouled out high, and he takes a tumble.
So again, as Porter's brother toils for the Denver Nuggets, Michael Malone often says it's tough to beat your opponent and yourself on the same night.
2-point game, Prairie View in front.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink. Designed to
front 42-40. They're on a 6-0 run over the last minute.
Trey, you mentioned they started 4 of 17. They've been 17 of 34 from the floor. 13 of 17 since then.
Wow.
A sizzling
Red
76%.
hot. And they've got Petway and Anderson leading the way with 12 points apiece. And now LMU's going to give it back to Prairie View.
Now I think that's a offensive foul by Asanza. We didn't get a good look at it. But again, Trey, another turnover by the Lions, which is aiding the Panthers' efforts here as they lead by 2.
Vide now on the floor. They've got 2 point guards out there, Johnson and Vide. Asanza playing the 5 spot with Porter and Merkviladze. Here's a 1-3-1 zone look. Horton Jr., they get over to Ricks on the wing. Shot clock at 2. They get the shot off. Barely drawing iron is Anderson. Good defense on that trip from the Lions. Johnston. And he's fouled in the open floor, trying to cut through the painted area. And that will be the 15th foul on Prairie View A&M.
Now Petway's off the floor, Trey, but he and Anderson average 34 points per night. That's 42% of Prairie View A&M's 81 per night. They've combined thus far for 24, so you must know where number 11 and number 23 are at all times. And do not practice egalitarian defense, treating everyone the same. Those are the 2 key guys you must defend.
Johnston is fouled. And it looks like LMU's going to be in the bonus here pretty quickly as fouls mounting here in the first 5 minutes against Prairie View.
And there have been a lot of dead ball turnovers by LMU to start the second half. Not the breakaway variety, deflection, steal, things of that nature, but here's another one.
Well, moving screen called on Asanza as he picks up his 3rd, trying to set up Vide.
Yeah, so that's at least the 3rd offensive foul, which is a turnover for the Lions. So the Panthers very savvy here on the road. Of course, they've only had 1 home game, and they really started to believe tying this game on that 12-3 run over the final 3:28 of the first 20 minutes.
That's 14 turnovers now in LMU. Horton Jr. attacking. Maybe altered there by Asanza a bit. Merkviladze to Porter. Underneath the big man, and Asanza throws it down.
You're right, Trey. He affected the shot at the other end. Rim run, Porter with his 7th assist. Extremely well done by the Lions.
This is a big LMU lineup. 7-1, 6'10", 6'9" on that front wall. You've got Vide at 6'6" in the backcourt, and there's the steal by Merkviladze, and he's fouled by Anderson. Anderson picking up his 3rd here at the 14:25 mark.
Yeah, so you're very astute, Trey, noticing Coach Johnson going big. Great strip by Merkviladze here. And now can you get high-quality shots? Can you wear down the Panthers' defense?
What a huge size discrepancy, and now Johnson is fouled out high, and that is going to go on Petway, and already LMU's in the bonus.
Yeah. So you must capitalize getting to the free throw line with 14:19 to go, Trey.
Could be a factor. LMU 71% from the free throw line this season, and this is their best free throw shooter. Johnston's at 86%. Sydney, Australia product, scoring point guard, co-captain. He's not only been their best shooter, their best ball handler, and he gives LMU the lead.
And Trey, you mentioned it. You know, we haven't really seen Porter and Asanza on the floor together. We haven't seen Asanza that much this season, but that could be a very dynamic duo in the front court.
Yeah, this is a team that can rival anybody's size in terms of positional size, and they've got the big guys out there right now. Little pressure. Here's Petway driving baseline and a foul called. Problem is you get the bigs trying to guard the quick guards, and that can be a problem as McBride will come in for Asanza.
Yeah, so there'll be some really good things on this tape to show Asanza as far as, you know, avoiding the offensive fouls, defending without fouling.
Into Bryant amongst the trees, blocked. McBride goes to the deck to get it. Bryant gets it back and lays it in.
That's that NFL body by Bryant. An excellent second effort there leads to the bucket.
Their leading rebounder, Johnston from the corner with the answer for 3.
Johnston hit that 3 when LMU was down 2 late to Nevada. He's a very good situational scorer.
He has 7 First triple of the game. On the drive, Petway can't get it to go. And on the floor, out of bounds, it will stay with Prairie View.
See, it's so tough when you don't finish defensive possessions with the defensive rebound. Now you're giving Prairie View A&M a second opportunity as they'll inbound at the baseline. We may have a clock issue here, however.
Mark Fulton, Martin Sachaki, and Evan Singletary are officials here, and they will go to check that out on the other side of the court here at the 13:34 mark. Entertaining game. It was LMU early, and they've picked up the pace a little bit. They've hit their last 4 shots.
From Will Johnson. He's one of their 4 players that are averaging double figures. He leads the team just under 15 points a game. I talked to him this week, and he told me he had no Division I offers out of high school. His why comes from always being doubted and being the kid that was told they're never good enough, saying he loves basketball and being an underdog is why he keeps going. He wants to see just how far he can take this, Trey.
Love it. Sometimes it's not bad to have a chip on your shoulder, right?
Absolutely. Every night is an opportunity to demonstrate to other schools that they've missed by not recruiting you.
Anderson with the entry pass there, and Tillman is fouled.
And to Bridget's point, Trey, 4 players averaging in double figures. Of those 4, only McBride is in double figures. He came in averaging 3 tonight, so the 4 that average double figures are still in single digits for the Lions.
Step back 3 Petaway off the front iron. Bryant can't save it. It's out of bounds. It'll go to the Lions.
And LMU is leading. So what that tells you is that you've got a very deep, talented roster that different guys can step up and produce offensively.
Now, Petway's going to get a breather here. Bryant is back on the floor, along with Zakir Sawyer, a 6'5", 220-pounder out of Dallas, a Tarleton State transfer. Now, deep Prairie View team.
And now on the offensive end, be strong with the basketball, like Coach Romar told Bridget. Expect contact. Don't expect the whistle to be bailed out. Get high percentage shots.
Approaching 13 minutes to go. Long 3 from Mert Veladze. And McBride trying to keep it alive, but the Panthers have it. Terry in the corner. This is a nip and tuck battle now after we had a lot of changes in momentum in that first half. Anderson, their top scorer on the drive. Anderson with the finish.
Coach Smith told us he is a next-level player. That was a move of devastation on the road by Anderson.
Johnston for 3, and he buries a big triple. Will Johnston now in double figures with 10, his second three-pointer.
He's so timely, Johnston. He just feels the game in his bones and knows when it's time to step up when his team needs a play.
He has had some big scoring games in his career. 33 against Gonzaga a year ago, at 27 at St. Louis in their loss this season. Shot clock's under 10. Horton Jr. against V-Day. Sawyer over Mert, got it. Little floater for the big man. A powerful guard, cuts it to 2.
Yeah, that was a big-time move by Sawyer, Trey. Great response by the Panthers.
V-Day harassed by Terry, and a timeout called by Stan Johnson and company. 11:47 to go. LMU in a battle with the offenses have picked up the pace here second half, and we've got a battle. Porter has it off the inbound pass. Backing down Sawyer. Porter with that size advantage, leaning in, and he's fouled. Now Sawyer is a physical guard at 6'5", but Porter goes 6'11".
Yeah, and he recognizes the size advantage. Well done after the timeout, baseline out of bounds, and we'll get another media break here with the Lions up by 2, looking to extend.
11:41 to go. LMU looking for their 5th win of the year.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink. Designed to rehydrate.
4th foul for Prairie View, their leading scorer. Could be a big development here with 11:41 to go. It puts Javon Porter on the free throw line. That was the 18th foul against Prairie View A&M. Anderson has been a tough guy to check the entire night with 14 points.
Yeah, he averages 19, Trey, like you said, and that was a ferocious dunk, beating the defender off the dribble. And I know LMU is really excited about point guard A.J. Thomas out of Arizona, a recent signee. Coach Johnson calls him a relentless competitor.
Porter cans a couple free throws. How about this? 8 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists for Porter. He's let the game come to him, has affected this game in a lot of ways. A little pressure here as the Panthers get into the front court. 11 and a half minutes to go. LMU's led by as many as 11. Prairie View's led by as many as 2.
Paramount for LMU to rebound out of this zone, Trey.
Petway, guarded by Stone Carrawell. Shot clock at 2. A rush jumper from Tillman is on the money. The left-hander with a big 3 with the shot clock winding down.
As the clock winds down, your focus increases. Great job that time by Tillman.
He has 7 now, his first three-pointer. Merkvaladze now working against Petway. The size advantage. Leans in. Little half hook is good. That's 6'9" against 6'2". He takes advantage.
Yeah, and again, he receives the basketball deep in the paint, and good things happen for the Lions. Can you get stops now? Can you extend before the next media break?
Tillman on the drive. Vide got a hand on that one and turns him away. Merkvaladze looking ahead. Stone Carrawell, the catch and the finish. He has 13 now. And the Lions extend their lead to 5 near the midway point second half.
Great vision by Merkvaladze and a gorgeous move by Stone Carrawell with the hesitation. Great poise as he converts.
Both teams now shooting 50% as they kick it into the corner for Tillman. Left-hander fires it up there. Rims out. Merkvaladze the rebound. They've dominated the glass, plus 11 in that category. Johnston is held and fouled. Better offense in the second half for LMU. They've hit their last 3 field goals. They're getting it inside and out.
Yeah. So UB Brown talks about the test of coaching. Can you get your best players high-quality shots in their best area? LMU is doing that. And here, great defense. Johnston and Vide. Porter, so good tonight, Trey. Like you said, letting the game come to him. Porter to Merkvaladze to Stone Carrawell. And again, Tom Thibodeau, the head coach of the New York Knicks, says it. The game tells you what to do, and Porter has been exquisite in his execution tonight.
How about the Aussie here? 2 points first half, has 11 now after burying that free throw. Got them both, averaging almost 15 per game, and LMU extends their lead to 7.
And you're so right about Johnston, Trey. He's just a clutch player, stepping up in key moments for the Lions.
Trapped in the corner on Terry, and a timeout called by Prairie View. Byron Smith wants to talk it over. 9:41 to go, a 6-0 run over the last minute 10 for the Lions. We'll keep it right here. This is an important game for LMU, trying to build off of that momentum from a big victory against Nevada. And LMU with Stone Carrawell finding the range. Bridget, he struggled in the first half, but his offense has been good here of late.
Yeah, you see this team just kind of have an up and down, inconsistent game, but they're starting to find their stride here as of late. Remember, these players had finals this week. They finished the fall semester classes, so their week of practice was unusual. They had Monday off, they practiced Tuesday, had regular scheduled Wednesday off. Then they really got to focusing on the game prep Thursday and Friday, but Stan Johnson
picked it up. He's 4 of 9 from the floor, 4 of 5 from the free throw line, 13 points. And again, it is a different vibe when, you know, the campus is light and you've got just the focus on basketball. And having won 3 of 4, this is critical tonight to get this done, to keep the train going in the right direction.
Here's Petway with 5 on the shot clock, and he gets that to go. They've got a couple left-handers that are tough to deal with, and there's a steal. Bush, he thought about the 3, did not take it. They're going to settle into the half-court set. Instead, he was wide open, and Coach Smith shaking his head over there. He's surprised he didn't take that shot.
And now Anderson back on the floor, Trey, with 4 fouls, something to keep an eye on for the Panthers. And, of course, his impact on this game, 23.
Braylon Bush against Merkvaladze, and he's fouled. He'll head to the free throw line. Well, that's tough for a 6'9" guy to check the guard in Bush, who's only 5'9", as quick as can be out there in the perimeter.
Yeah, so, and Coach Romar told Bridget that at halftime, that ball containment, keeping the Panthers in front of you, is a key element to LMU's defense. And it's the toughest thing to do in the game, according to people like Gordy Chiesa, the aforementioned longtime assistant under Jerry Sloan, the late Jerry Sloan, with the Jazz.
6 of 8 from the free throw line as a team now for Prairie View.
And that's very interesting, Trey. We see Petway and Anderson off the floor, almost a little offense-defense by Coach Smith. He's so smart. He knows he's got the under 8 media timeout coming up. And, of course, Anderson with 4 fouls.
Well, he'll need Anderson for closing time as we are in a tight one here. Here's Vide, cut off at the free throw line. Johnston for 3 from the wing. And a push-off. That's an offensive foul. It's going on Porter. It's going the other way.
Now, that's an offensive rebound that Porter can likely secure without the contact he initiated, Trey. And that'll be another really good teaching moment on tape.
That's his 3rd, so something to keep an eye on here. Javon Porter sitting now with 3, also 3 on Merkvaladze, 4 on Asanza, and on the other side, Anderson has those 4 we talked about. Bryant and Bolton have 3 apiece, so foul difficulty could be a factor here down the stretch on both sides.
Yeah, no question about it.
50% shooting for LMU, 53% from the field for Prairie View. This is a team that has put up great numbers offensively. Defense was a concern coming in, but they've held their own.
They really have. And again, they have the ability to bounce back. LMU is up 58-51, a 7-point cushion, and now the Panthers respond, trailing by 3. Of course, they can cut that deficit at the free throw line.
7 SWAC regular season titles, 2 SWAC tournament titles. They've been to a couple NCAAs, Prairie View A&M, as Orlando Horton Jr. hits the first free throw, and it's a team that can scare you with the way they push the ball around the perimeter and coast to coast.
And in one of their NCAA tournament appearances, they played FDU. My brother was the head coach at the time, and it was an epic battle that FDU was fortunate to secure the victory, their first NCAA tournament win in the school's history. They went on to lose to Gonzaga, of course, of the WCC on that Thursday night. But again, Prairie View A&M has an excellent reputation. They are not an easy out by any measure.
A 1-point game, 6-0 run over the last 40 seconds for the Panthers. Vide is double teamed. That 6'6" frame helps him as he gets it to Merkvaladze. He's trapped. Stone Carrawell lucky to get it over to Johnston. 8 on the shot clock. Stone Carrawell inside. Merkvaladze from the corner hits the side of the backboard with that one. And Prairie View a chance for the lead now. And they'll set into the half court.
Notice the double teaming by the Panthers leads to a defensive rebound. And like you said, Trey, they feel like they're in business.
And Johnston's going to get whistled for the foul here as Bryant tried to go behind the back. And that's his 2nd. Both teams in the bonus. 8:07 to go.
So if you're Stan Johnson right now, you're thinking about offensively being strong with the basketball, the pressure, the double teaming. That's an invitation for a dunk. On defense, ball containment, keep it in front of you, and connectedness, communication, cohesion. Own the defensive glass. No second chance opportunities. Do not allow those.
Porter is back in for Merkvaladze. Bryant, 66% free throw shooter, and he ties this one up at 58. He likes Bryant's game, Coach Smith. He says he can play away from the basket a little bit, but his strength is what really stands out.
Absolutely.
And he gives the Panthers the lead at the 8:07 mark. 7-0 run. They're in front. Johnston gets a Porter screen. Back to Javon. Here's Vide on the wing. Vide. Porter left alone for 3. Not there. McBride trying to track it down, and it's into the hands of John Paul Ricks. 2.5-minute scoring drought for the Lions now.
And again, do not let your offense affect your defense. dig in, get stops if you don't turn the opposition over.
And there's an offensive foul. And if that's Bryant, that's the limit. 7:25 to go. Coach Smith, A&M, a seesaw battle here at Hank's house. Panthers in front of LMU 59-58. Almost a 3-minute scoring drought for LMU. V-Day on the floor with Johnston. A couple point guards here. Johnston in the corner. A good look at a three. Got it. Big triple to put him back in front. What a half for Will Johnston. 7 minutes to play.
Great recognition of the defensive breakdown by the Panthers. Johnston should not be left alone.
Bush throws up an air ball. Porter the rebound. McBride calling for the basketball, and Johnston travels. Pulled the pivot foot, and they turn it over. Their 16th turnover.
Trey, that's a major storyline of this game because Prairie View A&M has converted those turnovers into 21 points. And again, an 18-5 bench point scoring advantage by the Panthers on the road as well. Two big factors in this game.
Johnson has 15 now to lead LMU. Horton Jr. John Paul Ricks, the junior from Baton Rouge. Here's Petway. Petway into the paint. Petway scoop shot, in and out. Battle for the loose ball, and Johnson has it as he takes it away from Horton Jr. Boy, every possession key here and a lot of 50-50 balls.
Yeah, absolutely. Completing the defensive possession is huge for the Lions with that defensive rebound.
Well, fadeaway rolls off the rim for Stone Carewell. Porter the offensive rebound. Merkfaladze to Johnston. 6 minutes to go. Porter at the free throw line. Good feed to Stone Carewell, and he reverses it home.
Porter with his 8th assist on the night, 10 rebounds. He has been terrific offensively without scoring the basketball. The other 95% that Coach Johnson talks about.
Horton Jr. jumper, and the answer. The draw him within 2, and a timeout. 63-61. Prairie View now in a scoring drought of all.
There's that dunk we talked about earlier. An absolutely terrific move by Anderson, but he's got 4 fouls.
Yeah, they'll have to pick their spots with him. He's going to sit right now with 5:37 to go. Both teams shooting the basketball well. LMU at 49%. Turnovers, though, have been a big story. 21 points off turnovers for Prairie View.
Right, and you've got to be prepared here, Trey, for a double team scenario by Prairie View A&M if you're the Lions.
Johnson has a hot hand. He's got it over to Stone Carewell. Porter at the free throw line. Porter makes his move on Terry, and he's fouled. Free throws the rest of the way. 2 free throws. They're in the double bonus now. And this is where Porter has a chance to really cash in. He is 3 for 4 at the stripe tonight.
Yeah, and he has been terrific, Trey. 10 rebounds, 8 assists. And you just love his contribution, letting the game come to him. He's on the cusp now of double digits. Really solid performance.
Anderson's back on the floor. He comes on with Bryant here with 5:21 to go. And Porter got them both. 70% free throw shooter. Hasn't been in the line a lot this year, but a couple key ones right there to extend the advantage. Bryant sets the screen for Horton Jr. Rolls to the baseline. Petway. 5 minutes to go. Anderson, quick first step, the finish and one. And it's going on Merkfaladze, and that will be number 5 on the co-captain.
Yeah, now listen, Nick Anderson is an extremely tough cover. LMU had done a great job ball containment on this defensive possession until Anderson here. See that quick first step? Trey, the acceleration and the devastation by Anderson on the road. And Coach Smith was raving about Anderson's game. It's so fortunate that he slipped through the cracks and that he is in a Panthers jersey. It's hard to believe he did not attract more attention on the recruiting trail.
Now they changed the foul. That's only the fourth, so Merck's going to stay out there. That's a break for LMU. 2-point game now. Johnston. Porter tries to bullet pass it down there to Merck. Velatze out of bounds. It'll stay with the Lions. They've done a good job feeding the ball to the interior at times. That had some mustard on it as Sawyer's back on. Anderson goes to the bench with those 4.
Coach Smith doing a great job trying to preserve Anderson.
Johnston gets it into Porter against Terry. He's got the size advantage here. He's doubled. Wild pass caught by Stone Carrawell. He lays it in. I don't think that's where he wanted it to go, but it worked out.
It certainly did. Yet another dish. And Stone Carrawell has been great at relocating when the Lions get double teamed. Well done.
He has 17 now. Approaching 4 minutes to go. Horton Jr. And stepped on the end line, and they turn it over. That is turnover number 9 for Prairie View.
Now, the Lions did a great job switching the pick and roll, switching here on multiple occasions, and it leads to the turnover.
That right foot stepping on that white line. Johnston looking for McBride, nothing there. He'll back it out under 4 minutes to play. Stan Johnson wants some movement. Merck's got it now. Porter on the wing with 8 on the shot clock. Backing down. Leaning in with the left hand. Short, got his own rebound. Porter again. No! And it's Petway the other way. McBride got a hand on it. Sawyer back to Petway, they'll reset. Porter had a couple cracks at it near the rim.
When the Panthers go straight man-to-man, Trey, there are more opportunities for Porter. They've jumped out of that matchup zone and gone man of late.
Oh, they almost turn it over there. Petway's got now against Johnston. Shot clock at 3 in the paint, and he banks it home. What a shot. Petway and Anderson have made some acrobatic moves all night long.
Petway, impervious to the Porter help, cashes in.
He has 16. 1 possession game, under 3 minutes to play. McBride and Johnston is hammered and fouled as he tries to make a move on the right wing. We'll take a break. It's been physical. Prairie View and back and forth we go on the Bluff. 2-point game, and it has been quite a dogfight between these two.
Can you expect anything less in Los Angeles? A 1-possession game on the Bluff. Will Johnson at the free throw line looking to extend a 2-point Lion lead.
Here's our Cedars-Sinai key moment. And speaking of Johnson, here he is from the corner. That put him in front, and he has had a big second half.
Yeah, good ball movement by the Lions. Stone Carrawell recognizes there's a defensive breakdown by the Panthers that leaves Johnston alone. You do not want to do that. He's just a guy that has such great feel for the game, Trey, and steps up big in winning moments.
He hit his first free throw. He gets another here and cashes in at the stripe where he's been effective all season long. Perfect tonight. And now has 17. He and Stone Carrawell lead the way in scoring.
Can you defend without fouling? Can you turn over your opponent? Shot goes up. Tom Izzo, hit, fine, go get it. Own the defensive glass.
Ricks with the shot clock under 10. Anderson drives to the paint. Dump off. Bryant, he's fouled. Can't get the bucket. Porter is going to pick up the foul, and that's his fourth. So you've got Porter, Velatze, and Asanza all with 4 personals here with 2:26 to go.
Now, Bryant came into tonight shooting 66% from the free throw line. He knows what to do with the basketball. Good effort by Porter. But you're right, Trey, that's going to be something he'll have to focus on here over the final 2:26.
Bryant, a workhorse down there, 2 for 2 from the stripe tonight. 66% free throw shooter on the season. Both teams in the double bonus, 2 free throws the rest of the way, 1 more coming. Sawyer's going to come in, Horton Jr. to the bench. Boy, Prairie View's done a great job shuttling players in and out to keep them fresh.
Yeah, offense, defense, and Trey, here, you must box out on this free throw attempt. and be prepared for the Panthers to pressure, to double, to try to wreak havoc. They average 8 steals per game.
And Bryant gets that to go. 1 possession game, 2:20 to play. LMU trying to build off of that win over Nevada last Saturday. Johnston has had the hot hand. Again, has it on the wing. Stone Carrawell, under 10 on the shot clock. Picked his pocket, Anderson. Can't finish the flush, but he's going to the free throw line. Well, you're looking at a special player. Forget about the fact he's playing in a smaller conference in the SWAC. He has showed it on both ends.
Yeah, now he's a big-time player. We talked about this team. They average 8 steals per night. And, again, Anderson, go big or go home, and he went for it all right there. And Prairie View matching their season average. That was their 8th steal of the evening.
Anderson 0 for 1 from the stripe, but he's an 85% free throw shooter. That is tops in the SWAC at this portion of the season amongst players in non-conference play, and can tie it up right now. Even at 69. No field goals in the last 2:45 for the Lions. Under 2 to play.
Expect contact. Don't expect the whistle to get bailed out. Get a high percentage shot here. Paint touches.
Porter thought about it. Guarded by Bryant. Here's Stone Carrawell. Drives it to the baseline against Anderson. Backing down. He tripped, lost the handle, and we've got a timeout call. Heads up play there from the LMU bench. They call the timeout. They'll keep possession. They only have 2 on the shot clock.
Right. So Stone Carrawell trying to make something happen. He's got Anderson guarding him. He knows he's got 4 fouls. Loses the handle. But again, Trey, now I believe you're going to have a side out of bounds inbound play here. So again, this is why you practice, of course. Shoot around, can you execute here? Perhaps we'll see something going at the rim or a screen for an open 3.
Tanaj Petway has been a key factor with 16 points, 18 for Anderson. How about the guard play of Prairie View?
Yeah, so those guys are terrific. They average a combined 34 points per night, which is over 40% of the 81 that Prairie View A&M scores. And we see Petway here. This was the end of the first half to tie the game, going coast to coast off a difficult LMU look. That's what the Panthers love to do, get out and convert in transition.
All right, 2 seconds on the shot clock. Let's see what LMU runs here with Johnson to trigger it behind the basket.
Yeah, baseline out of bounds. I was incorrect. We'll see what the Lions do here. Little box setup on this out of bounds play.
Here's the lob for Merck. He's got it. 10-footer. No. Tip won't go, Porter. He gets it back, though. Porter's fouled. Javon Porter's going to go to the free throw line, and that is a big rebound, his 12th of the game. He'll give him a chance to put him in front.
Yeah, Porter has been all over the glass. And great pass by Johnston, good execution. Merck just didn't get the roll, but Porter with great avarice for the offensive glass, trying to make it happen.
What a blue-collar effort. He is threatening a triple-double. 10 points, 12 rebounds, 9 assists for Javon Porter. Cannot connect on the first free throw. Sawyer goes to the bench. Panthers will bring in Jordan Tillman, the left-handed guy, their 6th man. Porter gets 1 out of 2. He does give LMU the lead.
Now, how do you defend Petway as well as Anderson on this possession, Trey? Looks like LMU is in straight man-to-man. Perhaps you want someone else to beat you here.
Johnson on the ball, guarding Ricks. Double high screen. They get it to Anderson. Anderson cutting to the rim, blocked by Porter, but a blocking foul is called on Johnston underneath the bucket. Porter did a good job defensively, but Anderson's going to get an opportunity.
Now we get a good look at it here. Anderson so lethal Now, Will Johnson was in terrific position. Looked like he was outside of the restricted area, but it goes against the Lions.
Saying I believe he didn't have his feet set. Looked like he was maybe up on his tiptoes there a little bit.
Well, you know what I think happened is he almost anticipated the contact instead of standing in a second longer and then absorbing it.
Boy, there's a big free throw from Anderson to square this one at 70. He has 18 now as Prairie View makes some defensive switches here. They bring Terry and Sawyer onto the floor. 19 now for Anderson. Make it 20, and the Panthers back in front. A minute to go. A 1-point game.
High percentage shot here.
Merkvaladze to the baseline, gets it to Porter. Double team. Merck's gonna drive again, cut off. Johnston on the curl to the baseline. Johnston reverses it, no! Offensive rebound now, McBride to keep it alive. Shot clock's at 5. Johnston has his pocket picked by Tillman, and a foul. They have been scrappy defensively, the quick hands, and that's a big defensive play.
We talked to Coach Smith. We talked to Coach Smith earlier in the week, and we said beyond Petway and of course Anderson, who's the guy that can make a play that's an impact player? He said Tillman, a 6'3", rangy wing, and there he is with yet another steal, and the Panthers absolutely love it. But now for LMU, you got to be strong here, just a 1-point deficit.
His first free throw attempt of the evening. One more coming. It'll be a one-possession game regardless of what happens here. It's the guy that had 18 and 9 boards at Fresno State, 22 at Northern Colorado. Everybody's been a scorer on this Panthers team this season. Got them both.
Plenty of time here. You do not need a 3. You can attack and extend.
And they're going to call a time. The Lions wins against Mountain West teams in Wyoming and Nevada. A loss they felt they shouldn't have had against North Dakota, and here being challenged by Prairie View, down 3.
So it's sideline out of bounds in front of your bench. Can you get a quick hitter here for a dunk or a layup? That's going to be your first look. Ideally, you'd like to see the ball in Johnston's hands and see if he can make some things happen. And again, Porter has been terrific on the offensive glass. McBride has been so opportunistic. You know Stone Carrawell, of course, is a major scorer. So again, you want to take what the defense gives you here, but can you get a good look initially off this out-of-bounds play?
Lions are 7 of 21 from 3, just 33%. Johnston has 3 of those threes. He's got it on the wing. Johnston for 3. Buries it, and 1. Free throw coming.
Johnston seizing the moment and the opportunity for the Lions. Stan Johnson will say, yeah, I drew this up. Pick and roll, step back 3, and he's fouled. Big time play by Johnston.
Ricks got him with the leg, and he's got a chance to give LMU the lead with 24.4 on the clock. Big game will. He did it last year against Gonzaga, against Colorado State. And a huge free throw coming here. He's 6 for 6 from the stripe tonight. Now they're going to bring in Lamage Lewis for defensive purpose here. Here their specialist. And Stone Carrawell's going to check out.
We've talked about Johnston all night, Trey, and his ability to ascend at winning time.
Their co-captain. The heart of this program in a lot of ways. LMU in front.
Now keep everything in front of you here.
And Prairie View wants to talk it over when they drive to the rim, right?
Yeah, exactly. So ideally, of course, you'd love to force a turnover here. You want to foul without defending, but if you have to, obviously, Trey, you cannot preserve yourself. And there's the man, Nick Anderson. He's going to inbound the basketball here. He is the most dangerous man in the building.
He has 20 to lead the way for Prairie View, looking for a signature win after a loss at Mississippi State in their last game by just 7.
McBride with the assignment on Anderson.
Into the hands of John Paul Ricks. Johnston picks him up defensively. The switch to Porter. Anderson's got it. Guarded by McBride. Spin move. Anderson step through. Blocked from behind. And into Porter's hands, and the Lions have it with 8.7 to go.
That was a great defensive effort by LMU. McBride on Anderson, and he spins. Johnston wanted to take the charge, but again, McBride with the recovery from behind, Trey, with the block. A big-time defensive play by Aaron McBride.
The coaching staff says he makes winning plays, and that's a perfect example. Sometimes things that don't show on the score sheet, Porter can't convert, though, on the free throw.
Now, we got a lot of time here, so we can't celebrate yet. Obviously, if you're an LMU fan, you hope Porter converts here, and you've got a 2-point lead. Again, you got to keep everything in front of you.
Misses them both. 1-point game. Here is Petway. Petway with three. Petway the scoop, and he's fouled. He's going to the stripe for two with 1.7 to play.
You know, Baylor beat St. John's earlier in the season in a similar fashion to get to his spot, Trey, with the clock winding down, okay? So now, of course, you've got to see what he does at the free throw line, and you've got 1.7 seconds left, okay? So now Fran Fraschilla has the 1 second rule, 1 second per dribble, and maybe you get off a heave here. But at this moment, you've still got the lead. However, Petway on the season entering tonight from the free throw stripe, 77%.
Yeah, he's 3 for 4 at the stripe in this one. And they have put some time back on the clock, so 2.8. And regardless of what happens here, unless there's an offensive rebound, near one possession game. They're standing here at Hank's house, looking for some free throw defense. Petway ties it up. Graduate and former New Mexico State Aggie.
Now basically with 3 seconds you have a one dribble situation here. Maybe one pass and a quick shot.
Prairie View's in front. 2.8 to go. They worked on this at shoot around. Final moment play. Merthaladze, catch by McBride. Johnson's got it to the rim. Yes! Counted! LMU wins it! They're gonna look at this one. The review coming. What a finish here at Hank's house.
Incredible execution by the Lions.
And a Sports Center top 10 nominee potentially right there. Will Johnston, they go coast to coast for the game winner.
Merthaladze with the inbounds and a tremendous dish by McBride to Johnston, who just oozes confidence and embraces big moments.
What a play by McBride to get it to him on the wing for the finish.
And Trey, you mentioned it, the punctilious nature of the Lions working on these scenarios every day.
And that should count. The ball was out of his hand, and then you saw the red square come up around the rim.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good.
The officials are going to take a look just to make sure. Mark Bolton, Martin Sachaki, Evan Singletary, Will Johnston believes this one's over, and it's an LMU win in dramatic fashion. We'll see. What a game here at Gersten Pavilion. No field goals the last 3:10 for Prairie View, but they got it done on the free throw line to take the advantage before this last second flurry. Coast to coast, here we go. Count the bucket. LMU has won it, 76-75.